Hello, this is Jim Duffy of Refining Fire Chiles. Welcome to our educational video series on YouTube called Peppers 101. It is September 2023. We're coming down to October here in another week or so. And we hope to have over 100 to 120 chili videos up this year, by the end of this year, in order to educate you and give you more knowledge on chilies you either already know about and you'll learn more, or give you information on chilies you don't know about. So, it is our hope that we will encourage you and inspire you to grow more chilies and cook with more chilies and share chilies with others. And share the chili love, brothers and sisters, with your friends, family, and your coworkers and your neighbors. And you just experience the new flavors and the new things that are out there. There's thousands of varieties of chilies. Chilies are more diverse than any other vegetable or fruit on the planet. You're not going to find thousands of varieties of an orange. And if you do find a bunch of varieties, they're going to be very close. But with chilies, the flavors can be totally different. So just imagine that. All the experiences you could over the rest of your life and your family's life, experience all these different flavors. You could make the same formula for a salsa or a hot sauce and just change the chili, and you will change the flavor of the sauce. That's all you'd have to do. You could use the same amount of garlic, same amount of onions, same amount of vinegar, same amount of lemon juice, lime juice, whatever, and just change the chili, and you will change the flavor. You can stick to the same recipe, just change the chili. Isn't that amazing? With that being said, here is our public service announcement. Our public service announcement is get your children out into the garden. Get them into the garden where they can experience the miracle of something growing from a tiny seed to a large plant, to a plant that bears fruit and vegetables, and then take them into the kitchen and teach them some cooking. Now, don't just take them into the kitchen when you have something from gardening. Take them into the kitchen when you cook anything. Bring them into the kitchen. And you know what? If you don't know a lot of recipes, now's the best time for you to start learning. Go on YouTube and look at some cooking videos and just follow exactly what they do. Cooking's not that difficult. You just have to just follow the ingredients. Make sure you don't burn things. And you'll learn different foods. You know? Stay away from the fast foods. I mean, only when you don't have time, but, get your kids involved in the garden and then in the kitchen. And then if you want to take it a step further, when you make a lot of food or too much food, which is what I do, I usually feed my senior neighbors that I love dearly and care for. They're wonderful people. They've lived around a lot longer than me, even though I'm a senior now. And it's nice to serve others, especially those that are elderly or disabled or just fallen on hard times, or maybe they've just had it rough the past year. And you making a meal for them and surprising them with a meal, and your child partaking in that ritual of making the food and serving the food to them, especially if it's something from your garden, that even makes it better, will make an impression on your child's character and self-confidence that you probably can't do in the public schools. Probably can't happen. Besides, you'll be doing it with them. And you have the time. Everybody's got the time to do this with their children. Everybody's got the time. Don't say you don't, because I have friends that have huge gardens, and them and their wife both work, and they got a bunch of kids. So it can happen. With that being said, let's look at these chilies here. This is the Borg 9 Red. The Borg 9 Red is a cross between a 7-pot bubblegum, which is a cross between the Moruga Scorpion and Yellow 7-pot, and the Nagla, which is a Naga Dougla cross. I believe was created by the Chili Pepper Institute in New Mexico. Never really got popular. No one really cared about it because it just looked like a Naga. But anyway, John Harper of the UK, probably about 10 years, 12 years ago, and today is September 2023, he crossed these crosses. He's the one who also made the bubblegum. So he crossed the bubblegum with the Nagla, and he came out with the Borg 9. And the Borg 9, if you're a Star Trek fan, you know what the Borg is. They're these aliens that have a lot of power, blah, 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 on and on and on. We're not going to go into that. But the Borg 9 Red is extremely hot. It is a hot, super hot, that's been around for well over a decade. It has a traditional, just red, simple 7-pot shape. They can get a lot bigger than this. These were planted late this year, so I'm not getting that great of a harvest on them. It's also a variety that's probably going to fall out of my catalog if people don't buy it more often, because everybody wants the new thing. The new thing, baby. The new thing. I want the new thing, the new cross that someone just made in their yard, and it's only a year old. My goodness. I guess it's fun to make crosses, but when you're making so many of them and not really paying attention to one by growing out a multitude of plants and selecting from those plants like a true breeder does, and isolating so they can't cross with your other plants, then you're not really breeding anything. You're just messing around. And that's why a lot of crosses will revert or go kooky after a few years. So they're famous for a year or two, they sell for a year or two, and then bye-bye. Hasta la vista, baby. The Borg 9 Red has been around at least over 10 years, but I'm not going to continue to sell it if they're not interested in it. So like I said, it's got the traditional red 7-pot shape. As you can see, it's got some consistency in pod shape and size. Okay? So you can see that. So if you're going to grow a super hot cross, if you grow a super hot cross, which this is, and you get consistency in shape and size, production, flavor and heat, then, you're never going to get stability, because, it's going to take decades for stability. A lot of people don't understand. Decades. And I don't know anybody who's going to keep growing the same cross year after year, selecting year after year for decades. I probably won't be around from decades from now. Unless I live into my hundreds. So I'm just saying, people, a lot of these crosses will probably be gone in 10, 20 years from now, because people aren't going to keep going on them. They keep going for the new thing. When if we just stuck with some of the ones that were originally made in the last 10 years, then we might get some stability, but who knows? Who am I to judge? Have fun making crosses. Have fun eating them. These are extremely hot. I would say these are probably around 7-pot heat range, anywhere from 800,000 to 1,200,000. That's the guess. And if you hadn't known, if you don't know, the average of these peppers, people are claiming averages of 1,500,000, 2 million. That's a bunch of bull crap. Because I know growers that grow commercially for corporations that are food corporations. They grow super hots for food corporations. That's why you see bags of chips that have Reaper or Scorpion in them that are in your 7-Eleven or your other gas station places, because they're buying from people who grow out of country, right? And so they constantly have to test for Scoville ratings. And let me tell you, most of the super hots they grow, whether it's Morugas, Reaper, Scorpions, or other super hot types for the food industry, they're mostly coming in a little over 800,000 on a day-to-day basis. There's nothing really going near the 1.5 million. There's just not. It's just not. So people that say that are full of crap. They are. But you know what? When you start getting over 800,000, you're getting enough burn. But if you want more burn, by all means, grow a bunch of red and brown super hots, because they are the hottest types in the world. There's the red and the browns, the yellows, the mustards, which is a joke. There are people saying that there's mustard pods that get over 1 million. That's another lie. They're like 700,000 tops, because they're a green pepper. So your reds and your browns are going to be your hottest pepper. So grow a bunch of red and browns, and the ones that burn you the most, that's your hottest, okay? You make the decision on what's the hottest in the world. Not the newspaper, not the magazine, not some YouTube guy. You make the decision. I mean, you can take the suggestions of the YouTube person and grow out some of those, because they burned him really good. Maybe they'll burn you just as much. So you can take their suggestions, but don't take it as gospel or as fact, okay? Just saying. You decide what's the hottest and the best for you. Don't let others decide that for you. So this is the Borg 9 Red, created by John Harper of the UK, a renowned grower that I haven't heard from him in probably almost 10 years. And it's a great chili to grow. It will remain in our catalog at least to 2025. And then after that, unless people are buying it, we probably won't grow it again. And that's sad to say, but we probably won't. We're not a seed bank. We're a business, so we have to grow what sells. But we try to keep things around longer to give it a chance to keep selling. But if it doesn't, then we have no choice because it costs money to run this business. If you see all the stuff we have to net and stuff, this all costs a lot of money to do. So this is Jim Duffy, Refining Fire Chiles. Please subscribe, hit the bell notification so when we have the other 120 chili videos come up, you'll get notified and you can learn more about chilies. And share the channel, and please like, because that helps us with the YouTube algorithm. This is the Borg 9 Red, Refining Fire Chiles. Take care.